Hey guys, Kev here, and I have some new Kizers to talk about today as I knock over everything on my desk. So we have a new batch of Kizers. There's three, I think. Two of them that I know of, or that I have here, are releasing now, and then there's a Kickstarter for the fixed blade we're going to talk about, which is new and interesting, and I have some info on that I wanted to talk about because a lot of people ask, why is Kizer doing a Kickstarter? And they get a little bit upset and talk about how they don't like pre-orders and stuff like that. And it's not for the reasons that people think, I'm pretty sure. So anyway, we're going to talk about it. They did send this with a card, which was pretty nice. It says, "Nice day." And then it says, "Hi, Kevin. Happy New Year. Wishing you a year filled with success and happiness. We are excited to continue our collaboration with Kizer. Cheers to new beginnings and fruitful partnerships, Mandy." I thought that was really nice. They sent me a handwritten card. They also sent me this. This will start with this. It's a little canteen cup. And I don't know if they're selling these or if this was just a gift, which is cool. Either way, it has a little lid on it. I did open one of these knives, so I'll show you that one in a second. It's probably the one most people are interested in. That's pretty cool. The handle kind of folds around. It feels very light. Like I feel like I could just crush it. I don't know if I really could, but is this screwed on or whoa? Okay. No O-ring on there, which would definitely make it less rough on my ears. But it's just a little promo item, which is cool. It says Kizer on it, and it's a little canteen cup. I think that's pretty sweet. The only thing I don't like about these type cups and things are they get hot. Usually they get really hot, so it makes it hard because you want to, drink out of it when the liquid is hot. Where a mug like this, the mug I can still grip while the coffee's super hot. But thank you to Kizers, a 300 milliliter little cup. All right, let's talk about this first knife. This is called the Silver Wing, and this is in their new X series, which is interesting. And I'm actually going to include a little video here if I remember to. And when I took this out of the box, it was all jacked up. Because somebody in a group I'm in was asking, like, has anybody handled the new Silver Wing from Kizer? And I was like, well, I just got a box from them. Let me check. And I checked, and, well, the Silver Wing was in there. We have the Silver Wing Kizer X Series, and there's your model number. Designer is LF. I'm not sure who that is. And it's titanium and S90V. And then there's a DLC inlay, which is interesting. I really like their new packaging, their new logo, or a font, whatever you want to call it. Innovation, respect, sharing. You have this little card that comes in here. A little COA. I'm guessing this is new for the X series. You can see it says S90V hand brushed, and then it has the handle information. This is number 40 of 60. It's a limited edition. Comes with a little pouch. Came with extra hardware, very Kizer-y. And it actually came with what looks to be like a set of die, but I'm not positive. I think it is. So you have a 1, 2, that one's the 6, the 3, let's see, that's the 5, and that's the 4. So they just have different shapes and stuff for the die. For a second there, I was thinking maybe it's like a proprietary tool or something, but no. They are Ultim dice, blasted Ultim dice. It's kind of cool. I think I have a set of Ultim dice from them already, but I might keep these, throw them downstairs in my junk drawer. So as my kids get older, I'm sure we're going to play some games, and maybe we'll need some dice. So I'll set that aside, but I'm going to put everything else back in here because I am going to pass this around, of course, as with any knife I get from, well, pretty much any knife I get from a company. So that's the Silver Wing X Series. And yeah, what happened was I took it out of the box, and I was like, "Ooh, this is terrible." Because somebody was like, "How is it? Does it feel like a $300 whatever dollar knife?" And it was really tight the detent felt like it wasn't like strong enough to open. It would open to like here, and then it would be really tight through here. It was very weird. And then in the video, this is why I wanted to put the video in here if I can remember. Otherwise, maybe I'll post it as a short or something. All of a sudden, after like, I don't know, 10 or 20 times opening it and it feeling really weird, something just like snapped in it. Like, it didn't make a snap. I'm just saying something happened. And before that happened, while it felt weird, I checked and it was dead nut centered. Or no, sorry, it was off center. It was way over here. Like the tip was way over to the clip side. But there was no play. There was no play at all in any direction. Same with right now. But then all of a sudden, I opened it one time, and when I closed it, it did this. It just like dropped shut, and then all of a sudden the detent was perfect, or the action was perfect, so it was nice and smooth now, so it functioned like I would have expected it to, right? And now it's perfect. There's no play. It's dead centered. It was just really weird. I don't know what happened. My theory, somebody else suggested as well, was that maybe one of the bearings wasn't somehow in alignment or something, and then it just kind of clicked in. But I don't know how it would not have some kind of play before or after. You know, I find that interesting. But it's been that way now for a week, and it's perfect. It has not shifted. Nothing's changed. So the knife is great. It just came out of the box a little weird for 10 flicks. I just wanted to share that because it was my experience. But look at the action on this. It's beautiful. Somebody just asked in a group chat I'm in, does it feel like a $300 something knife? And not just another Kizer that they're, you know, charging that much for? And my answer to that is yes. It feels much more precision machined, even though their stuff is always really nice. But you can see like it has this sort of mesh look in there. That's titanium that is, you know, milled to look like that. That's pretty impressive. It has this DLC inlay. You can see all the milling going on. It's not an integral. It's a faux integral. You can see it goes together there, and there are screws. There's a one screw that goes through this side into here, which is a nice touch. The clip is very nice. Works really well. I like the little jimping on there. You can just see that it looks like a more premium knife, in my opinion. It actually reminds me of a brand, and I don't know which one it is. Is it Reich? Maybe Katuo Reich. I don't know. I saw a knife with this stuff before. I don't know if it was that Gen X Blades Primark from Get Good Screw, or I don't know. There was something that felt similar, and it was a much more expensive knife. So, yeah, it feels really good. They did a great job with this. So I would say, yes, it does feel like a more premium knife. And check it out. It has a legit belt satin on it. So it's not a faux satin. It's not a machine satin, which is nice. They did put on there, what did they say? Hand something for the satin. And technically that's true. Hand brushed. So, to do the hand, to do the belt satin, it's done by an artisan by hand. And then this up here, the flat is vertical or horizontal. So I think hand brushed would be right. It just makes it kind of sound like it's a hand satin, which it's not. It's a really nice belt satin, which I prefer. But I just wanted to mention that. Yeah, it feels great. It's got a nice front flipper. I do wish the jimping was a little tighter and came up and around, but the tab works really well. You can roll it. You can front flip it. I haven't really tried a reach around. It looks like you could do it. Let me see if I can get out of the way. Yeah, you can kind of do it. Reverse flick is great, right-handed. These studs are bigger, but they work really well. They have a good amount of grip on the front of them. You can see it has a little step there, so you can get in front of that and flick it, or you can get underneath it and fire it, and it works really well. Left-handed, you do have to get off the lock bar, so you got to try to get down to the clip or the bottom of that frame lock, and it's a little tougher maybe up here. Yeah, it's just a little bit harder to get under it left-handed. So if you're a lefty like me, you're probably going to want to just do the thumb flick. You could, of course, do the front flipper, and then you can just switch to your right hand for a reverse flick or whatever you want. It does have a cut there for tritium up on the top of the blade, so you could glue in some tritium. I don't know if I'll do that. I do have some extra tritium, but I am going to pass it around, so I might just leave it alone. But yeah, I think it's really good. So that's the silver wing. Check it out. It does look like something's going on inside there with the bearings. Maybe if we have time at the end of this video, we could take it apart or do a separate one and see what's inside, because I am actually curious what's going on there, because I just see silver. So I think the bearings are like retained inside of something. I don't know how to explain that, but it looks interesting. So we might check that out. So that's that one. Then we have a mini Momo that's a little bit nicer. I see here M390 Damascus and marbled carbon fiber handle. It's a liner lock. I have not opened this one. I only opened that one because somebody like was asking, you know, what does that knife feel like? So I took it out. Here's a little card from Kizer. Pause and read if you're interested. Shout out to Kizer. We get the pouch again. Is this an X series? No. I think this is a regular one here. But you guys know I love the mini Momo, and I was hoping they did a more premium version down the line. So let's see how this one came out. Was there a COA for this one? No. See, that's the difference. You don't get the COA. You do get some extra hardware. There's a nice sticker in there and your usual stuff. So you didn't get the dice and you didn't get the COA. Just to mark the differences between the regular line and the X series line. So this, yeah, look at that. Marbled carbon. You have Damascus on the bolster, I guess. And then the back spacer as well. Very nice. They did not do the clip, but that's fine with me. It keeps it kind of clean. And something I'm noticing, oh, goddamn. I can't remember if it's different right now, but it's a liner lock. But look at that. It's like a tab. I don't think that's how the other ones were, but I could be wrong. It just looks way nicer for me. It is a nested liner lock. It is not an inset liner lock. You can see there is a full liner on the inside. So I just want to note that. Weight is perfect. And look at this. Hand satin on this one. Man, this is beautiful. Luckily, I already have a mini Momo in the pass around. So this one's probably just going to, you know, stay here. Nice and stout on the detent with a tab like that. That's what you want. That really fires out of there. You can see it says Mini Momo M390. So I don't quite understand why this one doesn't fall into that category of X series. And maybe it does, and I'm crazy. Just clean that off so we don't have any lash. Stick. There's no lash. Can I flick this thing? I was just wondering. Yep, I can flick it, which is kind of nice. That front flip is really, really nice. See if I can reach around it. Nah, it's a little bit harder. The rollback, yep, I can do that. That's nice. Does have a little bit of that, like, bearing moving sound. Like, there's a little bit of play there. Not a huge deal. The first one I had, the first Momo, I think it was pretty loosey-goosey like that. Had kind of a rattly thing going on. The second one I got, which I think was that purple one last month, that one was fantastic. Just dialed to perfection. This one's sort of in between, mostly on the nicer side. Might just need break-in, but maybe throwing some skips in there would help. I'm guessing it's on the 5 or 4 millimeter 3/64 ball, and they just have so much space between balls, unfortunately, on those, that they tend to have a little bit of that inconsistency, where skips will really clean them up and make them feel amazing. So we'll probably do a disassembly on this as well. Maybe we'll do a double and do the silver wing as well. But this is gorgeous and beautiful at the same time. So I know these are out already. I'm a little bit behind because it's just been a rough week over here. These released, I believe, on the 12th at 9 p.m. Today's the 13th. So I'm going to try to get this up today at the end of the day. We'll see. But very, very nice. This is definitely the nicest mini Momo I've seen. I don't know if there's some other versions. I mean, it would be cool to see it in titanium with the bolster, or a frame lock version at some point. Would be nice. It's dead centered, by the way. Yeah. If you haven't seen my other videos on the Momo, I love it. It's a great knife, and the mini just really brings it home for me size-wise. It's absolutely perfect. And it's basically the poor man's 520 and 523, and it pretty much nails that. So, I love it. All right. So those are the two that released from Kizer. Now, this is the Buddy, and this is a fixed blade that they're dropping on KickStarter. And a lot of people, this is the Vanguard series. So we have 3 series, basically. Vanguard. Then we have the Mini Momo in the Bladesmith category. And then we have the Silver Wing in the X series. So most affordable, in the middle, mid-range, premium. So that's kind of the way that works. All right. So I asked Kizer straight up. I said, why are you doing a Kickstarter? Because I'm in some group chats. I've mentioned a few times now. And this looks really cool. I'm in some group chats, and people are already kind of like up in arms. They're like, oh, I'm not doing a Kickstarter for a Kizer. Why would Kizer do a Kickstarter? What, they don't have any money? Like, and then the conversation comes up, like CJRB and Artisan are doing this too. Why do these companies need money? Like, I don't get it. And, I try to explain, like, it's not because they need money, guys. They have the money to fund this stuff. I figured it was because they have so many versions of the knife, and they just want to know ahead of time which versions you guys like, so that they can finish the knives with the handle scales that people want, right? Instead of doing a bunch in this finish and nobody buys it, they can do the ones that people like, and the Kickstarter helps them determine that. And then usually, I've seen when it's Artisan, or now when it's Kizer, when they do these pre-order things or Kickstarters, they deliver them within a couple weeks or a month. It's not like a normal Kickstarter where it takes 6 months, right? So they've basically have the knives made, most of them. They just need to figure out the finishes that people like. Now, when I asked Kizer, I told him, I was just like, hey, why are you doing a Kickstarter? People are questioning it, right? And they said, no, it's not because we don't, like, we need the funds. We get tons of support from the community, and we appreciate that. It's basically what they said was they're just trying to explore a different way of selling their knives. They're trying to bring their knives to a different audience, basically. There's people who only shop on Kickstarter. There's people who are on Kickstarter and they order knives, but they're not like dedicated knife people like us nerds, right? So if they see a cool knife on Kickstarter for a good price, they're more likely to pick that up than if it was just sold on Kizer's website or White Mountain Knives or something, right? So it's basically just them branching out to try to bring in new people and just try a different way of selling a knife. So that is why. And I don't know, I didn't ask why they chose the Buddy, but I think it was just because it's, you know, it's an affordable one. They can make a lot of them. I don't know. There's a lot of versions, something like that. Because I would have assumed that they would do it for something like the Silver Wing or even this fancy Momo, right? If they were after just getting the money from people, right? They don't want to, you know, front the money. They just want to take our money up front. And, you know, that's what the, you know, the skeptics would say. Well, then they would have done it with these knives because these are expensive, more expensive, right? This is a $300+ knife, and this is going to be a $200 to $250 knife, I'm guessing. Maybe more because it's M390. I don't know. But that's not what happened. They did it with this knife, which is what? I mean, I'm guessing it's not more than $60 or something like that. So, calm down a little bit. Don't get all upset with Kizer. They're just trying to branch out a little bit. That's all. And if you like it and you're just upset because you can't just go buy it tomorrow, they're coming in pretty quick, and I'm sure they will be available at dealers at some point. They're just, you know, testing out something new. Now, talking about the knife, this thing is nice. It's a 3-finger knife for me, but they were smart and they put this lanyard on there already. And so it feels really comfortable. It's got a little curve to it like a pistol grip, which is actually really comfortable. It's got that sharpening choil with the little nub there that we see quite a bit on fixed blades. Nice drop point blade. We have a designer logo there. Let me see who that is. It's Maxim Epiphantasif. I think we saw him last week on a different knife, but let me try to get that in focus for you. Maxim. Come on, baby. You can do it. I promise you can do it. Maxim Epiphantasif. I know I butchered that, so apologies to Maxim. Very cool. And I like it, actually. I like it quite a bit. That's probably why they chose it, because it's a nice little EDC blade. Also, you'll note it's in Nitro V steel, not in D2. And it comes with this Tech Lock type mount that everybody is doing on their, all the Chinese companies are doing on their fixed blades. And then it comes with a nice little sheath, which works really well. There's no movement and it pops out. It's not too difficult to get out, but it's not like shaking out. Very nice. And it's a beautiful fixed blade, I gotta say. I'm not into the EDC fixed blades because I just like having a locking knife and I like flicking stuff and fidgeting, and carrying stuff like this in my pocket doesn't make sense to me. I do think that they should start sending these smaller knives with a set of loops. You can get them on Amazon for dirt cheap, but why not include some loops? And then what I would do is take this Tech Locky thing off, and I would put the loops on, the soft loops on, and just appendix carry this with the soft loops. It's nice and thin. It's a small, thin fixed blade this way, short fixed blade. So I think it'd be perfect for a appendix carry or scout carry type setup. You have some jimping back here. So if you, I guess, grip it a certain way, you can use that. I'm not quite sure. Maybe like this. But let me see. Does it work like this? Not sure what the jimping's for exactly. I guess it helps back there. But yeah. Jimping up here. Flat grind. Very nice. It's a beautiful knife. And I love the scales have these holes in them. So you get a little bit of that tang look. And then the lanyard hole is on the tang, which is nice as well. So very cool. That's the Buddy. This guy's on Kickstarter. I do have a link that Kizer gave me for this knife specifically on Kickstarter. So I will put all the links down below. It does help the channel if you use my links, but it is completely up to you. But they did give me one specifically for the Buddy Kickstarter. So check that link out. And let me know which one of these is your favorite. You have the Buddy fixed blade. You have the mini Momo, baby. And then you have the Silver Wing, the new X series knife. I think it's cool that they're branching out to some different stuff here with Kickstarter and a more premium brand or line. And yeah, it definitely feels like a more premium line. I mean, the action, the just the overall machining feels better. I'm not gonna be the cliche guy and say the tolerances feel better, but the machining feels a little more precise. It just feels nicer. That's the best way for me to put it. So I do see where that money's going. Is it a point of diminishing returns? Of course it is. You're still just getting S90V and titanium, but you're getting a fancy mesh design. You're getting this DLC inlay. But, you know, you could save a few bones and get some Timascus and marbled carbon and a hand satin with the mini Momo. But, you know, you might have that little bit of movement, little rattliness going on. But you can always fix that with some skiffs and a little bit of TLC. Or for most people, they just don't care. It still feels great, fires out, everything still is great on it. But, you know, you have steel liners and etc. You get the point. And that is your Bladesmith series. And then, of course, you have the Vanguard. So let me know your thoughts. I love you guys. Big shout out to Kizer. I really appreciate them for including me in their releases. That's always awesome. I will be passing around at least the Buddy and the Silver Wing. I might be throwing that one in there too. Who knows? And you'll probably see some disassembly videos. So there you go. I love you guys. Hope you have a great day. And I'm going to catch you guys later. Peace.